Okay, so in part 2, we're going to talk about integrating your Etsy and Printful account so you can start creating your shirts and publish to Etsy. I'm going to talk a little bit about ads and then taxes. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go to Etsy and go to register and create your account. Now, I'm not going to walk through all this on the video. It's pretty self-explanatory and it would take up way too much time. So you'll just enter your name, your address, the name of your shop. You'll have to set up an actual shop. So you'll think of a name. You might want to use keywords that people might search in the name if you can. And so then you want to go to Printful and do the same thing. Okay, now this is all behind the scenes. Customers never see Printful. This is just so Printful can charge you so they can start shipping the shirt and all that like I explained in the first video. So once you have your Printful account set up and your Etsy account set up, the next thing you have to do, and I didn't do this and couldn't figure out why I couldn't integrate my accounts, you have to have one live listing on Etsy. So that means you have to create a fake product if you don't already have a shop. This is going to cost you 20 cents. But you can delete it later, so you just have to eat the cost just so you can have this integration happen. So to create a listing on Etsy, you just go to your shop manager at the top of the screen. I'm on the next page, but if you're on the Etsy homepage, click shop manager and then go over to listings on the left and then click add a listing. So you're just going to add a photo here. It can be whatever, just something on your computer. It could be a selfie of yourself because you're going to delete this later. So you're going to fill out all the required fields. And for your digital file, just upload a PNG file. It can be anything. The point is just to have something live so this integration can happen. So then you click publish and then Etsy's going to say, we're going to charge you 20 cents, blah, blah, blah. Just say okay. And so now that listing will be live. And now you're ready to integrate your accounts. Now I will put a link to this page in the description. So once your Printful account has been created, your Etsy account has been created, and you have your one fake listing, then you come to this page and click connect Etsy shop. And so it's going to confirm that you're logged into Etsy and all that. And so then you're done. Now, one thing you need to do with Printful that I didn't do that made one of my orders freeze, and I didn't know what was going on. Make sure you go up to billing and add your PayPal account or a credit card, because when an order is made on Etsy, as I've already explained, Printful will charge you for the base price of the shirt. So if it's $8.95, they'll charge you, and then they will print and ship the shirt. That's their cost, right? And then Etsy sends you the full amount a little bit later, so you get your profit. But if you don't have a credit card or a PayPal account set up here, then when the order is made, it's just going to sit there. And that's what happened with me. I made a sale and I logged in and it had been like a week and nothing had been done. It said the order failed. And that was because I had not set up any billing at Printful. I wasn't really sure how all this worked at the time. So make sure you do that. Otherwise, you're going to have some orders just sitting there. Okay, so you've got your Etsy shop done. You've got your fake product. You've integrated your accounts and you're ready to start creating t-shirts now, finally. So to do that, from the dashboard in Printful, you're going to go to stores and then you're going to click add. And so then you're going to choose what product you want to sell. And you can see you can choose from a variety of different things. Let's go with shirts. Now I like to choose the unisex shirt because it has the best profit margin. So it has the lowest base cost. It's $8.95, the one that I choose. So if you want to choose the women's shirts, you can, but they're going to cost more and you have to charge more to get a better profit. So let's just choose unisex, and they tell you which ones are popular. This is the one that I choose, this $8.95 shirt, but you can see the colors and all that. So let's just choose this. And now you're going to add your image for your t-shirt, your PNG file. So we're going to stick with the same donut theme from the last video, and you can choose your colors. You can select all or individual colors. I typically leave the print quality as is. The sizes, you can select which ones you want, and you can also print on the back, the outside label, or the front. And then you proceed to mock-ups. I like to choose black shirt for my preview just because people tend to buy black shirts. So let's proceed to the description. Now this is the most important part because this is what's going to be shown on Etsy, because this listing gets published to Etsy. So this is exactly what will be seen and used by Etsy's search engine. So one of my students told me that it's always best to put your main keyword first in your title. So if you're targeting donut t-shirt, that needs to be your first word, okay? So donut t-shirt with chocolate sprinkles, and Etsy gives you a lot. I guess it's not chocolate sprinkles, chocolate and sprinkles. Etsy gives you a lot of room for your title, so I would try to use up as much as you can. Now for the description, I leave all this alone, but I change this part, obviously. This tea makes a great gift for donut lovers, and you might want to spell donut both ways so you have both options covered. Dessert lovers, chocolate lovers, you know, just try to think of all the keywords someone might type in when they're searching for a donut shirt, okay, and fill it up. Same thing with the tags. Donut tee, donut shirt, donut t-shirt, and I believe you have to do 2 words. I don't think you can do 3, or there's like a character limit, so watch for that. So definitely max out your tags, and when you're done, you're gonna click proceed to pricing. Now this is where you choose your profit margin. Now remember, this is the price you will be charged when the sale is made by Printful. This is the price of the shirt on Etsy. This is your profit. So if you want a better profit, then you just up this here. I like to get mine around 10. Yeah, so for this shirt, if I want a $10 profit, I've got to have my profit set at 110%, and the price is going to be $19 on Etsy. So when you're ready, you're going to click submit to store. Now, I'm not going to do this because Printful doesn't really let you delete listings. You can just ignore them, and I don't want to have this fake listing in my account. So I'm not going to do that, but what I will tell you what's going to happen next is you're going to get a link. You're going to see it uploading. The shirt's going to upload, and it's going to say edit this listing in Etsy. So you click that link, and then it's going to throw you back into Etsy. And all of this is going to be filled out with the title and everything that you picked, the printing for Printful, all that's going to be populated for you. You don't really have to do anything, except there's one thing you need to do. You need to add Printful as a production partner. If you don't do this, you could get in trouble on Etsy. You need to tell Etsy shoppers that you're having somebody else help you with printing. This is a new rule that Etsy just put out a couple months ago. Now, I've already got Printful here, but what you would do is you would click add a new production partner, and you would give it a name, Printful, and then you'd put the city. No, I don't want Los Angeles, Texas. I didn't even know there was a Los Angeles, Texas. So you could just say Printful prints and ships the items. Why are you working with this partner? I don't have the technical ability to make it entirely by myself. That's really the best option. What is your role in the design process? Hopefully you can say I design everything myself. And what is the partner's role? They do everything for you. Okay, basically in terms of the printing, they do everything for you. So click Save Partner, and then you will have this Printful box here. So make sure you check this before you submit your listing. And so this will notify the buyer, oh, okay, they're using Printful. So hopefully they'll read that as they're looking at your listing. So when you're done, you just click Publish, and your listing's gonna be live on Etsy. And then you can go back into your listings and make changes and edits and do all that type of stuff. So you're done with Printful. If you want to make any changes to your listings now, you do that on Etsy. Now let's talk about ads. Now, if you want a little bit of help getting some exposure to your new shop, you might want to consider ads for Etsy. And one thing I like about the ads is that they manage everything for you. All you do is tell them the minimum price you want to spend per day, and they handle everything. So they will automatically advertise your listing with the appropriate keyword searches. So if you tell Etsy, I want to advertise this donut shirt listing, it'll automatically show up here on the top row when someone types in donut shirt, and they will bid for you. They will figure out what your maximum bid is. And basically, the better your click-throughs are, the lower your ad will be. And I had an ad that was converting so well with clicks, and I got 2 orders right away, that I was only paying 17 cents per click. And I was making a profit. I am making a profit on this individual listing. So that's why it's so important to do that keyword research in the beginning, because if there's low competition, your ads are going to be much, much cheaper. So in part 1, when I was showing you how to find the best niche for your shop, That's why that's so important, because if you do decide to buy ads, they're going to be cheaper for lower competition keywords. So you can choose how much you want to spend. If you only want to spend $1 a day, you put it at $1 a day. So how you do that is you go over to marketing, promoted listings, start advertising on Etsy, and then you just set your daily limit, whatever you want it to be. And you can choose to automatically advertise your listings, or you can do them individually. You can turn them off and on and toggle them by going over to marketing, promoted listings. Now, you don't see any here because I don't have any in, this is my just personal shopping account. But you'll be able to toggle the advertising off your individual listings as well. So this is something you might want to consider if you're not getting enough free organic traffic to your store. Try some advertising, set a very, very low limit and see what happens. I was actually able to make a profit on some of my listings with the ads, so it's been working out pretty well. Now let's get to taxes. This is the part that's going to bum some of you all out. I've got a meeting with my own CPA in a couple of days to discuss this new business with him. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to keep track of all these taxes. It can be a pain, just being real. And what's crazy is there's a lot of people doing this Etsy Printful integration, and they have no idea that they should be collecting sales tax and reporting these taxes and all that. And that's illegal. So this is a link that I will link to in the description, but it has 4 scenarios here that explain when you would be required to pay taxes or when you won't be required to collect/pay taxes. So for example, if your office is in Michigan, so let's say you're in Michigan, but a customer makes a purchase from California. Because of the Nexus law, and Printful is located in California, they will charge you sales tax. So that means you will have to add a sales tax to your listing. And then you might be required to report that sales tax to California as well. And so it depends on where you live. It depends on the Nexus rules in that state. And for every state, it's going to be different. And so the word Nexus just basically means you have a business presence in a given state. So if you live in Connecticut and you make a sale to somebody in Connecticut, you have Nexus in that state, meaning you are required to collect sales tax. But if you live in Connecticut, but a customer in Maine makes a purchase, you might not be required to collect sales tax. Now, there are services out there like TaxJar, for example, that will automate all of this for you, but it's not free. It starts at $19 a month, but they will file for you. And so basically you integrate TaxJar with your Etsy account and they will do the legwork for you. So that's something that you might want to do. The other option is to do it all manually. Now, I personally have not had any transactions yet that require sales tax, but that's why I'm meeting with my CPA. And I would highly recommend, if you're going to do this, you speak with someone in your city. Don't get advice from the internet. I'm not going to be giving anybody tax advice because that's not something I should be doing. But I've seen people giving really bad advice online. You need to talk to a CPA to make sure you understand what you should be doing. Because if you live in California and I live in Texas, my rules might be different than yours. If you live in the UK, you've got the VAT issue. You know, there's so many different rules out there and taxes can be confusing. So if you want to do this and you're already doing this and making money, you need to seek counsel from a CPA, a local CPA. Don't go online and try to get help. You need to talk to someone to make sure you don't have a mess during tax time and you're not doing things illegally. So nobody likes to talk about taxes, but it's very important. And I notice a lot of people who are talking about this Etsy integration with Printful, no one's talking much about taxes in these videos. And it's very, very important. So that's it, ladies and gents. That's the Printful Etsy integration. I feel like I covered all of the main parts. If I've missed something, please feel free to let me know. If you have any questions other than taxes, I will answer, but I will not be answering any tax questions because legally I should not be giving much advice. I gave you some generic advice, but please talk to a CPA on that stuff. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you found it helpful, and I'll talk to you later.